if she knew about how violent they were. I don't think she needed to know. I think she chose not to know. She just knows she has to launder the family money and make herself legitimate and make her family legitimate. And that's what she focuses on.
Not a lot, because he probably wouldn't have taken the job had he known that he was already aware of her connection to the cartel, to the Rojas brothers. So, yeah, I think that the great thing about this season is that Kincaid starts out someone who's just, as I say, a coin-operated investigator, and then as the season progresses, he starts to find his moral compass again. So he's an ex-Miami detective who turned private investigator, and he needs to pay for his mother's medical bills and alimony, and so he's really a coin-operated investigator who's been hired to find the killers of this young girl's family. I think how evasive she was being, and once he made the connection that she was related to the guys behind the murders. And so, and I think he's drawn back to his roots, Miami PD, and realizing that he can, the money is good, but his soul is more important. Oh, I think so. I think so. I think she hired him to try and throw him off the scent and find out how much he knew.
Yeah.
And once he discovered just how involved she was, that's when he made that decision.
I think so. Yeah. I think she knows that private investigator is a good private investigator. And I think it's a good little push for her to be like, oh my God, I gotta be more careful because, I have people behind me now. But she's such a fox that she'll find ways to get her way. I found out about being Matt's mother halfway through the show. I knew there was like a big reveal that was gonna happen, and our showrunner kept hinting at it, but she wouldn't say much. And then I found out, and I was blown away by how it was going to be presented at the end of the show. So I'm very, very excited to embark in that big change for Caroline's arc in MIA. And I would sit opposite my son, because we obviously didn't have any seasons until the end of the season, that he didn't know at all until the very end. So it was hilarious because Etta, Shannon's character, would know. I knew. Obviously, our showrunner knew, but he didn't know. And we would just be exchanging comments and talking about the show, and he would have no idea that I was really his mom. I don't think she knew. I think at the beginning, you could argue it both ways. I think she hasn't found out who Etta is yet, which makes it really interesting. And she's more, not that she's innocent at all, because she just killed someone and pushed someone down a flight of stairs. Right. So there isn't anything innocent about Caroline at this point. Mm-hmm. But in the world in which she preserves for her son, there is a genuine, obviously, love and care and motherly instincts towards him. So I think she's focused on having her son back home, and this is the new girl. That's it.
Do you think, did she clock that it was Danny? And how quickly?
You know what? I don't know. I think I left it when I was working in because obviously that's the last scene, the last shot of the season, right, is that. So I kept going back and forth with our showrunner, like, does she know? Does she not know? And that innuendo, or that not certainty, makes it better because you have to figure out for yourself. So I think we'll leave it at that. I think it was coincidental. I think obviously we watch heightened reality and we try to make, this fictionalized world look real. Obviously it's not. But to make it more interesting, I would think he doesn't know, because I think he really is an innocent, good man, young man, which makes it even more complicated as they get intertwined, and then as I get thrown into the mix, and the cartels and the Rojases, and it's a lot. It's a lot of very cool things crossing paths and making it all so much more interesting. No, he's not.
Yeah.
I do believe that one thing that Caroline wants to do, what her father wanted her to be, was fully his legitimate child. And he worked really hard to keep her protected from that. And he does a really good job until obviously he's no longer in the business. So then she kind of like crosses over to the dark side. But I think for her son is off limits. And I think she really wants to protect that and keep him sheltered from that darkness, which is why she will go to no limits to protect that.
I think tracking down Etta
Yeah.
and bringing the Rojas brothers, the family, to justice. I think that they go hand in hand. Yeah, well, she's smart.
Yeah.
I don't think they realized who they were dealing with when they murdered her family. I think that's part of the draw of this show, and how powerful it is that, she's no wallflower. We find out that Etta has strength and grit and determination, the likes of which, you've never seen in a young lady who happens to be a tour guide,
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, she's leaving a lot of clues behind her. She's not a professional killer, right? She does have an incredible trainer, but she's not a professional. So that allows Kincaid to pick up on the clues and figure out what's going on.
I like the fact that she's trying to get into politics, which is a very dirty world, I think. Especially we can see nowadays in this country and in many other places, sadly, politics are just dirty. And mixing that with the intent of legitimacy of the drug business into the real world, I think would be really interesting and dark and dirty and all kinds of cool things. I think I would like to see more of Samuel and Mateo's relationship, fraternal relationship. I think I would like to see more of the three siblings coming together as a full family force, whatever that means. I know it's not going to be anything good, but I'd like to see more of that. And I would like to see Caroline position herself politically in Miami and see where that holding of power can take her, because power corrupts people. And if she's already morally corrupted, I wonder how much further she's going to go. So I'll be interested to see that.
Well, I hope for that, Alyssa.
Yeah.
I hope that, we confront each other and maybe there's a dynamic that happens where she proves the grit that she's wants to show, to not only to show to her family, but to herself, that she's capable of running this whole cartel and taking over from her dead father and from her mother. And so, yeah, I think there's a lot to be explored.